Hey there, Internet. This is Rich with 9 to 5 Studios. This is the Endless Legend Quick Start tutorial. Let's put 3 minutes on the clock and go. Endless Legend gives you 8 default races to choose from, with the ability to create your own custom race. For your first playthrough, I recommend you keep it simple and play the Wild Walkers or Vaulters. Each race has very unique specialties that will greatly influence your gameplay. At this point, you are ill-prepared for the more exotic races. When the game first starts, you will start with 1 settler, 2 military units, and 1 hero that is pre-assigned to your army. You will want to start exploring the region right away. To split up an army, select 1 unit with the left click, and then select the tile you would like to move it to with the right click. We're trying to reveal as much of your starting territory as possible to locate the ideal spots to settle. Settle turn 1, turn 2 at the latest. Any more and you will be playing from a deep hole. For an ideal starting spot, you are looking for lots of food, anomalies, and preferably rivers, lakes, or sea tiles. Food lets your city gain more workers, which pays off in the long term. Anomalies are amazing tiles, and river, lake, and sea tiles are improved in many ways through research. Keep in mind, your city will never have access to tiles outside of your region. Don't worry about encompassing strategic or luxury resources. You will be able to build extractors on them regardless of the placement in your region. Find your spot and settle. Click on the city to enter city view. Here you can choose your build queue, see the assigned hero, look at the city happiness level, high being better, see how long before the city will produce another worker, and most importantly, assign those workers. For the first few turns, I recommend you focus on food to produce more workers. Having more workers gives you more options, and options are good. The other choices are industry, used to construct buildings and units in the city; science, used to research new techs; dust, used to quick build units, quick build buildings, and in the various markets; and influence, which is used for all diplomatic actions as well as improving the empire plan. With your workers assigned to food, right-click anywhere to back out of city view. This actually applies to most game screens and is surprisingly useful. Remember, if you're lost, right-click. Great, but before you end your turn, set your research. You can find the research screen through this icon in the upper left. Endless Legend makes use of tiered research. What this means is that you must research a given number of techs in one tier before you unlock the next. You can always research a tech from a previous tier, but keep in mind that the cost of a tech will increase based on the number of techs already researched. In addition, each tier also has a higher fixed cost. For first techs, I'll recommend Search Party or Geomic Labs. Search Party will give you a boost when you search runes. Geomic Labs will allow you to research other techs faster. During the early turns of the game, you want to use a hero-led army to explore temple runes. This will often give you dust, equipment, or quests, in addition to experience points for your hero. Some runes are dangerous, so make sure you have military units to back up your hero. Also, don't explore out too far, as it may be too difficult to respond to threats at home, or you could get cut off as other nations expand. Once you have a few workers in your city, you will want to build a settler and start looking for ways to mitigate expansion disapproval, either through sewers or luxury goods. Expanding should be a priority. Through early exploring, you likely encountered at least one minor faction. Minor factions will produce roving armies until they are pacified. You can pacify them by attacking, bribing, or through parley, which will give you a quest. Quests can range from easy to nope. If you don't like the quest, you can always opt to bribe or attack. Once a minor faction is pacified, you can assimilate them into the empire at an influence cost. An assimilated minor faction lets you build their unit in your city and will give you an empire-wide bonus based on the minor faction. Unlike other 4X games, your units and heroes upgrade when you equip them with better gear. You will need to research this better gear, and then you will need the strategic resources to build those units. To plan a new unit type, click on Units, then New, or Edit, drop down New Gear on the unit, and then Save. You'll see the new cost of the unit in the bottom right. Any existing units of the old archetype can be upgraded via retrofit button if they are within your territory. And heroes are upgraded the same way. Heroes can be anywhere on the map, and the upgrades can only be applied if you can afford to pay the cost when you hit save. Combat has far too many nuances to cover in this limited quick start, but is not intuitive on how you order a unit to move and attack. To do this, select the unit, right-click the tile you want the unit to move to, keeping the right mouse button down, then without letting the button up, move the cursor over to the unit you want it to attack, then let up. You should see a white arrow for movement and a red arrow for attack. And we're done. Went deep into bonus for Endless Legend, but it was worth it. This is Rich, and you've been quick started.